Give me a D and a G. It's the Dunga Show. It's the Dunga Show.
Hey, dog, your beard's looking flickin' great, my man.
Thanks, Gus. I've been using the Bush Beard Wash.
The what now?
At Bush Beard, they know that every man with a beard is a unique beardo. And that's why they offer a wide range of products to cater to every beard's needs. Whether you have a long and luscious mane or prefer to keep it short and sharp, their products will help you achieve that perfect look.
From the nourishing beard oil and balm to the refreshing beard wash, their products are made with all-natural local ingredients to keep that beard healthy, soft, and lustrous. The beard comb and brush are designed to detangle and shape your beard, making sure you always look your best.
At Bush Beard, they're dedicated to providing the best possible grooming experience for all the beardos out there. So why settle for an average beard when you can have a glorious, well-groomed one? Try Bush Beard products today and unleash the full potential of your beard.
Be sure to use Dog and Gus 10 and get 10% off your order.
Bush Beard, the small town brand with the big old Canadian heart. Welcome to the Dog and Gus Show now on Whitewater Rocks Radio.
What's up, dog?
Not much, Gus. Are you?
Oh, I'm excited to be here today.
Oh, are you?
Yes.
Me too.
For multiple reasons.
Give them to me.
Well, we have Fifth
Yeah.
with us,
Yes, we do.
but also the Oilers are going to win the Stanley Cup tonight.
Oh, bold prediction.
What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us.
Oh, not much. Having a good time, hanging out, getting ready for dinner.
Yeah,
Sweet.
appreciate you
What-
having us. Excited to
What's
be
for dinner?
Oh, schnitzel and mashed potatoes.
Schnitzel.
Be right there.
Ooh, I like
Yeah.
schnitzel.
Mm-hmm.
Got German family, so
I lived in Nuremberg.
I lived in Germany for 4 years.
no way.
Yeah.
Sick.
Way.
I ate
Never
a lot
been.
of schnitzel.
Always want to go.
Yeah. I was a military brat, so we were there for 4 years in Laurenbaden.
How old are you?
I was 4.
Oh, well, that doesn't count.
Excuse me, was I in Germany?
Yeah, for your formidable years, 4 to 8.
That's right.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
My bad. I was there when I was like
and
20.
they have an umlaut on it, so now he gets to eat German food.
That's
Very
it.
nice. Yeah,
Mhm.
solid. They like that. So how did you guys meet? What was the dynamic? How did that all happen?
You're talking to the dudes who were friends before the bands kind of started. Max and I used to work together at a bar called Warehouse on Clarence Street downtown in the Byward Market.
Yeah.
I was a support staff and he was a bartender, and we both did music, not the same genre, but we both were homies that did music. And for a long time, we were kind of talking about jamming and maybe starting a new project. And yeah, and then once I started working with Vinny, our singer, we needed a band, and Vinny and I were writing songs together. And then I hit up Max and said, "Hey, we need a guitar player. We've been talking about doing something for a long time. Let's see how this project's gonna go." And then Max kind of came into the picture, and it was Vinny, Max, and I. And no one really knew each other. I was the middleman that knew everyone individually and kind of got everyone together. And then now we're 4 best friends.
It's good.
Max, you have
Working in
anything to
the
say
bar.
about that?
No, I think you pretty much covered it. I think what was interesting about working at Warehouse was a lot of the staff were creatives in one way, shape, or form. You know, there were tons of musicians that were either playing in bands or DJing or producing. There were artists, people who paint. So it was a pretty good spot to hang out if you were creative yourself. If a lot of networking opportunities, and Zane was just one of those people that I connected with back in the day, and was really happy when we finally got to jump into a band together. And yeah, the rest is history.
Very cool. Yeah.
So where, of course, we have to ask, where did the name come from?
So there's a band called Fiddlar. Have you ever heard of them?
Nope.
Oh.
So they're a band, punk band from California, and their band Fiddlar stands for "Fuck It, Dog, Life's a Risk." And we kind of have the same approach with our name, influenced by that name. It's fucked in the head. So that's what Fifth is. However, we don't advertise that. It's just kind of one of the things you gotta figure out on your own.
Well, here it is. It's out there now, bro.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah,
we've
really.
said it a few times. We just don't wear it on our sleeves.
No, that makes sense. Yeah. No, I like it. It's sort of like, violently sexual.
You're sitting a little too close.
That's funny.
Yeah, I liked it. Warehouse. What was warehouse when you were?
When I was working in the market,
Because I worked at On Tap and Mango Woods. And
I honestly,
shit.
we're about-
Wait, I'm older than these guys.
I know, and I'm way older than
Yeah,
you.
you're like ancient.
Yeah,
It's probably
no.
like, you know what it was? It was probably a logging company that was there before you.
It was probably like a steel mill or something.
Yeah, exactly. I don't remember what it was before warehouse.
Where was it? Or where
It's
is
right
it?
on Clarence, but it was like there's always different bars there.
On
Yeah, beside
Clarence?
Heart and Crown.
Yeah, exactly.
Right beside, on the same side of the street as Heart and Crown?
Yeah,
Yeah, just two businesses over.
Okay.
because Patty Boland's was a little further down.
Yeah. Okay.
I'd be totally hallucinating here. I think it used to be a bar called Stella's.
That's it. Yes.
No, you're not
Yeah.
hallucinating.
Okay, good.
No.
Yeah, it was like a restaurant.
Drugs haven't kicked
Yeah.
in yet. All right.
No, but hopefully soon.
See, Warehouse was around when I just turned to drinking age. So
Okay. Because I
Yeah.
used to work. I used to work at Zach's,
Oh, right on.
and
Yeah.
I helped open the Blue Cactus.
Oh, very
So,
cool.
back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I worked at the Dub too.
Yeah.
Back in the day.
Yeah, so we had a little bit of experience with that.
Yeah, back when there was
hey,
smoking.
we're all
in the
market
bar.
rats.
That's it.
That's right, bro.
That's it.
That's right. Except we're not born in like 2000, like you said, when warehouse was there.
Yeah, it's a different place now.
Yeah, it's
Is
weird.
it-
It's weird down there. Actually, I find
Is it still there, or is it?
it's not. I don't think it's warehouse anymore.
No. Okay. They changed a lot down there, right?
Oh yeah, big time.
So, how cool was it, guys, to be nominated for an award at the CMAs?
We were kind of blown away since we've only been a band for 2 years.
Yeah, that's pretty
Yeah.
cool, though, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it was, just the recognition of the hard work that we put in the last, year and a half, 2 years that we've been a band. Did not expect to get that nomination. We were definitely one of the, more harder rocking acts that got
Mm-hmm.
to be a part of the show. So that was really cool. I feel like we were representing hard rock in Ottawa. But no hard feelings for losing in both the categories. The people that won definitely deserved it, and it was just really, really cool to be a part of it. Be out there connecting with other musicians in Ottawa. Great event, really well produced. Love to be invited back.
Yeah, first
Yes.
time for all of us, so it was exciting in general.
You guys just keep going on the track that you're going. You'll be invited back for sure.
Yeah, they put on a good event,
Oh.
filling Bronson Center, right?
Mhm.
So yeah, you're rolling.
Yep.
What are your musical influences? Would you say?
Every member is different. I'm more on the hardcore punk, pop punk kind of vibe. Devin, our bass player, is a straight up metalhead. And then you have Vinny, who's kind of all over the place, but really grew up on mainstream kind of pop music. And then Max, I'll let you speak for yourself.
Yeah, thanks, Zane. Teamwork in action. I'm a little bit more varied in my background. I would say my influences range from 90s mainstays like Nirvana, repping right now. But growing up, I was just super into guitar players, period, point blank. So Jimi Hendrix, Eric Clapton, Jimmy Page, pretty much all your classic rock mainstays. When I was in my teen years, I actually took lessons with Ottawa's blues legend Tony D, who's
Ooh.
junk for forever at this point. Over a decade and a half, I think they just celebrated. So I was really influenced by blues and blues rock early on. Really liked Stevie Ray Vaughan, things like that. But as I kind of progressed in my musical career, wanted to make more, hard rock stuff, just things that you'd hear on the radio, like Billy Talent. So they're a big influence as well. But anything that's kind of guitar driven is okay by me.
Nice.
Yeah, we
Very
all
cool.
have different vibes in the band, but together you make fifth. We all want the same thing. We all got together and figured out what we're kind of aiming for, and on the way, all of our influences kind of bleed in.
Cool.
Yeah, that's always the best when there's different the different types of music involved, and then you kind of create your own style. So you may bring different things to the actual sound,
or even every song, right? Like every song can be a little bit different. Oh, it's got more of a this vibe to it, and this one's got more of a this vibe to it.
Yeah, like
which makes it cool.
Bring back guitar solos.
Yeah, exactly. Guitar solos are mint.
Mm-hmm.
When going on that, like, so when you guys get together and start to, rehearse and do some work together and try and write together, is there, do you guys butt heads? Is there like creative, constructive criticism between the band? How does that kind of dynamic go?
No, we kind of let every member have their place, where music is guitar based, in my opinion. Like, a song is really written from a guitar, and Max writes a majority, if not all, the guitar, and Vinny writes all the lyrics, and we give him that position. I do my drums, but the one thing I really like doing is being there while recording, and all those ideas that come to your head while you're recording. That's a whole other process that I'm very involved in as well. That's more than just drums. But everyone kind of just hones in on their part and really focuses on their instrument for writing. So yeah, Max is a primary writer for riff wise.
Yeah, and just to sort of jump off that, I find that Fifth has kind of two avenues for creating a song, in pretty common ways, I would say. Usually I'll either come up with a singular riff and bring that to the band and say, hey, I've got an idea, what do you think of this? I don't want to spend too much time diving into it if you guys aren't feeling it, but if you are excited about it like I am, like let's develop it together and work on it. So I'll kind of bring that building block to the guys, and if they think it's a vibe, if they like it, then we'll start building onto that. And then the second way is, we jam a lot at the rehearsal studio, and sometimes we'll just, someone will just start either playing or playing a series of notes or something, and a couple minutes later we're just jamming on something, and we're all looking at each other like, hey, like this is first thing we do is get the phone out, record it, and hit the audio, the audio record button, whatever, and make sure that we have a copy of it and start kind of picking it apart. And okay, this was good. This isn't so good. We'll just leave that behind. But eventually, it develops into a fifth song.
Very cool.
Yep, I like. It seems to be very much a common answer that we get is like, yeah, we're writing something, and all of a sudden the phone comes out, and we have to start recording stuff to make sure that we don't forget it.
Yeah, we fish each other, where we say like, hey, here's an idea, and then if we're all on board, we dive in. And that's how it's been. Max has given a riff or two, and then next thing you know, we're going to the operation table and we're on the laptop building, throwing ideas. But yeah, we try to stay away from writing complete songs now, and we all want to be together in the process. That's like the new thing that we've really been trying to do.
I think it also should be said that a really important songwriter on our team is not actually in the performing band. Our producer Dan Bell is, I would say, the most instrumental, or at least the most important person on our team, who hears the song, hears where it can go, and has the means to take it there. He's such a talented guy, and has been with us since the beginning. Somewhere in the vault, there's an original demo of Dead that we sent to Dan, and it's fun to listen to it side by side because most of the pieces are there, but when he took it to the level that we know it as now, there's an obvious, like, okay, someone stepped in here and really brightened it up and gave it some life. And so typically we're stepping into the studio with songs that are 70 to 80% done and just really need that magic touch, and Dan Bell is the man. So
shout out Dan Bell.
Oh,
he does a lot for us.
I'm going to say it. So Dan is the fifth member of Fifth.
He said it before.
Yep. I'm sure I'm not original on that, but I'm saying it anyway.
No, it's
The fifth.
He's the fifth.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fifth.
Okay, so we talked about it a little bit before, but how would you guys describe your music to somebody who's never heard it before? Like you're in a bar and somebody says, "You guys are in a band?" And he's like, "Yeah, we're Fifth." And oh, what do you play?
yeah, hard rock. We rock music. We don't like to generalize, but
yeah. I think that's always a funny question for musicians to answer because it's always the same thing. Like, oh, I don't know how I'd describe myself or whatever. It's always a hard thing to do. But Zane's right. Hard rock is kind of the lane that we find ourselves in. We like cranking up the amps, but we still want to be melodic. So usually, if we're kind of comparing ourselves to anyone, it's like, oh, well, if you like Billy Talent, or if you like Alexis on Fire, or if you like Foo Fighters, that's kind of where you're going to find us sitting. It might not be exactly like that, which is good. We want to have our own sound. But, if you like loud,
Still no questions.
aggressive mics or loud, aggressive amps and sweet vocal melodies and ripping guitar solos, then I think you're going to like Fifth.
Very
yeah,
cool.
not
I
every
love that.
song has the same formula too. So I like to say we like to put our fingers in each genre of the pie, So
Mhm.
generalizing as one genre, hard rock, but we like to say, oh, this one song's a pop punk song, this song's a post-hardcore song, this song's a punk song, this song's an alternative rock song. Like we want to view our songs differently like that.
Well, it sounds different. So
Yeah.
like
Trying to
everything
keep it broad,
has
yeah.
its own. It almost has its own story. Each one of them, right? Like it's very
Oh,
cool. What song would you say is the most difficult for you guys to write?
Oh, you haven't heard it yet.
Ooh. Because it's too
Because you
difficult.
haven't written it yet. Written it.
Oh
Written
no,
it.
we wrote it. We recorded it. It's just not out.
Oh, and was it a challenge?
It was the best challenge, to be honest.
Mhm.
Max, I'll let you.
You mean like, was it a challenge to write, or is it a challenge to play live?
Well, I would. How about both? But maybe part A, part B.
Sure. I mean, I don't want to make it seem like we make it easy, but for the most part, because we get along and we're not getting up in each other's faces and saying, no, you're wrong, it should be like this. We're usually pretty open to hearing everyone's ideas. Like, most of the songs come together fairly easy. And I think this, again, to shout out Dan Bell, because we've developed such a good relationship with him and where he's willing to be very honest in his opinions with us. And the fact that we're always willing to trust him. We, at a certain point, if he makes a suggestion, we'll 9 times out of 10 say, yeah, you know what, like, let's do that, let's go with that. So it's never like we've reached 75% of the way done the song and now we're throwing hands because we can't figure out the bridge and we don't know, and we can't agree on something. So I'd say for the most part the songs have been coming together fairly easily. But like Zane said, we have one song that we haven't released yet that's definitely going to challenge the band to play live, and definitely excited to release that by the end of the year.
Nice.
Very cool. I'm going to go off on a little bit of a tangent now. I watched the video for your new single. I want to know the name of the dog in the video.
His
His name's what?
Benny.
Benny.
That's Vinny's wiener dog.
Yep.
So
Nice.
folks, Vinny loves wiener.
Yeah. Put that out there. It's in the world now. Everybody knows. It doesn't.
Yeah.
That's terrible.
Wiener.
Wiener. Too funny.
How's that schnitzel smell, Zane?
Oh, I think they're eating it without me right now. So
They'll save you some, bro.
yeah, they will. They will.
Better question. When was the last time you saw Benny?
Me?
Yeah, I'm joking.
When we did that shoot.
No, that's a joke, Zane. You're not cooking him up for dinner, are you?
Oh, no.
We went dark there.
But it's Fifth. They're
Yeah,
dark.
fucking that.
Dark. Yep.
Yeah.
That's too funny.
Exactly.
That's too funny.
Yeah.
Poor
No,
yeah.
sometimes it just goes right over my head. I'm one of those people.
It's okay. Okay.
I wanted to ask the second part was, what did you do to your foot?
Yeah, I threw it away. What did I do to my foot, like to hurt it?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah.
true. I was skateboarding on Elgin Street downtown with my homies. I did a trick I do every single day because I skateboard every day,
Right.
and yeah, I did a trick I do like a kickflip or a pop shove it, and slipped. Tried to catch myself, and my ankle folded outward,
Ooh.
and I fractured my fibula, and then basically got put into a boot, and they're like, "You'll be good in 7 weeks." And then a week later, and I already, meanwhile, since I broke it, and then since I went to my first appointment, I had a band practice with the lads, and I was like, "Yo, I'm good to have the boot on and play the show." And then I have my first appointment, and they're like, "You have surgery that you need like tomorrow." And then that screwed everything up for me. We had to cancel a show because of it, because it was like the week of the show. And yeah, so now I'm a little bit more recovered. I'm 4.5 weeks in. I've already played one show so far, like a few days ago with my other
Mhm.
band. And I don't know, I'm healing up well, and I'm definitely, we're playing like next weekend, like 5th. So we're back
Okay.
in action. I just have to
Nice.
hop around.
Yeah.
Sucks.
It does.
It does
You're
suck.
doing what you love.
My family's been taking care of me. I've been out in the country for the past 3 weeks.
Oh, nice.
Very cool. I may have actually seen him skateboarding down Elgin.
Yeah. Well, you live.
I live right off of Elgin.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well,
Probably,
sick.
probably
We
yelled at you. You
Yeah,
bastard.
yeah, I'm the old man yelling at you.
Your skateboard.
had a
Slow
band
down.
yeah, too. So
Yeah, that's me. I'm the old man.
What would you say is the biggest highlight for your career so far? Even though the band's only been around 2 years, but I'm sure there's something that's
to be honest,
exciting.
for me, it's our first show. Like when we played at the 27 Club, we expected that we'd have to tell all of our friends to spread out to make the room not look so empty, and it turned out to be the polar opposite. And we basically practically sold out 27 Club, our
Nice.
first actual show.
Amazing.
And that was like, it made us realize like, oh, like people dig this, and wow, like this project's going to be something else, because we had no idea what this project was going to be, you know.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
especially
I
with
always
your first
think about
show,
that.
right?
Yeah, first show, and like 225 people showed up, packed 27, and we're like, oh damn, like we
Who are
got
you there with?
Pardon?
Who are you there with?
Guest room status and nothing special.
Okay.
We were just asked to be added to a bill, and it was just convenient that we didn't play a show yet, so we're like, fine, let's just make this the show.
Cool.
It's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, 27 Club's a cool place.
Very.
Mhm.
Yeah. What do you think of Live Nation coming to town?
I just gotta see it for what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Live Nation has mixed reviews through the artist community, but one thing I will say is Ottawa's been talking for years about the need for another mid-sized venue that is in an attractive location and that would actually bring bigger name acts in. And hearing that they're taking over the Chapters building downtown makes all the sense in the world to me. When I think about the interior layout of Chapters and how it could be transformed, it's perfect for a live venue. You know, there's a second floor that I'm sure they're going to, I want to say mezzanine, but like a second floor, whatever.
Balcony
English
space, maybe.
strong suit today. So, but the floor itself and just being able to see a stage getting put up there, like I say, it makes all the sense in the world to me. I'm excited to see where this project goes, and with all the efforts that Ottawa is doing right now to sort of revitalize the nightlife scene and start attracting new stuff to Ottawa as a whole. I think it's a great choice. So it's got my vote for sure. I'll go see a show there.
So will I, yeah.
Yeah, same. I just want to see how it's gonna roll out.
Yeah, ideally, like what Dog and I spoke about was, bring the big live acts into town, which is amazing. But make sure that you remember that there are great bands in Ottawa that could open for them. That would be something that I'd like to see.
I heard that's a concern with some people saying, "Oh, like they're not gonna let local people take part in this venue," which I'm not saying that they will or they won't. I'm just hoping that like I'm waiting to see if that is the case because if there's a new venue, we'd want to play there eventually.
Of course. Yeah.
I think that Live Nation has that reputation though. Like they don't usually.
That's what we've been told from other people.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I don't know them personally or have had enough interactions with that company.
Yeah, it seems like a point of contention with most people that are artists and sit in town. We've spoken to a couple that have said that it's going to be, not a place for regular Ottawa bands to play. So, that kind of sucks. So if that happens, then, maybe we can write into them, Dog. Get it.
Well, the thing is too is I think a lot of the touring bands that are out there, a lot of them should be more like, well, who's the local band that we can put on our show with us? You know what I mean? Instead of bringing in, because a lot of bands tour with somebody else, right? But I would like to see it where the bigger band, like a band that's going to play there, comes in and says, you know what? Who do we have that we can have open for us that's local?
It
Oh,
would be
and a
nice.
perfect
You know
world.
Yeah, exactly. Well, then
Some,
that's kind of
some bands do that. I mean,
some
that's-
do, but
that's-
it would be nice if they had a rider for but I guess they're trying to make money too, Live Nation. So I guess they got to do whatever the artist wants. But
We've
Yeah.
had Sean Scallon have our backs and try to get us on some opening slots, but you'd be surprised how many bands don't want opening. They just want their package, and we got used to it. We're lucky if we get the offer.
Mhm.
But
No, I get that. There's so many ins and outs in the back end, right? Um,
I think end of the day, like we don't really know what it's going to look like right now, but at the very least, in my mind, a big positive for this is when we think about Toronto and Montreal, which is really Ottawa's biggest competition. At the end of the day, if this does actually end up happening, now we have a venue that is on the same level as the Metropolis or the Danforth or something in that line where that's kind of an area that we struggled in the past. So, I'm not going to make any claims of knowing how this whole thing's going to go down, but I think just in terms of building Ottawa's reputation up, it might be a strong move.
I agree. I think it's big for the city, no doubt. It just shows that, like you said, we're now a metropolis, we're over 1 million people. So that is exactly what it is. Right?
when it's nice to see the mayor's on board too, like he's the one pushing for it, right? He's not just like, it sounds like an okay idea. He's actually, no, we're doing this.
He's very involved in the arts.
Yes, I know. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. What's the worst piece of advice someone gave you when you started out as a musician?
to stop to get a real job. And
And a
they're
haircut.
right, but at the same time, it's like I can only dream so much.
Dream
Yeah.
big, man.
Yeah, it's a
Always.
question. I feel like over the years we've kind of tuned out the sort of negative critiques, but I don't. Yeah, what's the worst piece of advice? Put all your money into this.
Drew that.
Yeah. Put fucked in the head on a t-shirt. That's the best advice I'll give them.
Yeah,
Right? Yeah.
great marketing promo. They love us at PBS.
Yeah. And my school, I'll wear it to school. You'll have to change your shirt.
You think?
Oh, I think so.
Well, you could just say fifth on it, and then
I know.
nobody will say
Fifth would be fine, but if I put fucked in the head, I would probably be asked to go home.
I've had
And I'm
someone
glad you,
give advice saying you should play your hometown once a year.
oh yeah.
And I don't know. To me, it's like at least play more than 5 shows.
Well, that's something we talk about a lot with the bands that we talk about on here is how much is too much, like playing here in Ottawa. You know what I mean?
We settled down with we discussed that as a band,
Mhm.
and I was the one that's like, we should play 4 shows in Ottawa this year, and now we're playing like 7. But at the same time, we're still trying to make it so they're not always after each other. We try to have 2 or 3 months in between a show, and really try to space it out and make sure we're providing like a really dope experience. You know?
Yeah, not saturated, right?
No, that's the problem, right? Is that, oh yeah, Fifth played last weekend. Oh, they're playing again this weekend. Like it's the same thing with a lot of bands we talk to. You definitely have to give them, leave them wanting more. And I saw you guys at the Brass Monkey. I believe it was the Brass Monkey, and that was a great show. And I was like, yeah, I want to see more of these guys, but it's exciting to wait. Oh man, Fifth is playing in 2 months, man. I'm really jazzed about this, and just waiting for it. Right, it makes it a little bit more of a good time when you guys get on stage. You're like, oh man, I've been waiting for 2 months to see these guys. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that's appropriate for a band that's playing all their own show or all their own music, right? And it's a different ball game for musicians that are playing in pubs and doing covers and also like peppering in their own songs here and there. But yeah, ultimately, especially when you're just getting the band off the ground and you're for the most part staying based in your hometown, you don't want to oversaturate the market. So it's always that fine dance of we want to give you what you want, but just enough so you're going to be left wanting more at the end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, makes sense. I mean,
always leave them wanting more.
Yeah.
P.T. Barnum.
Did you see us for the Bad Flower show, or was that with Civilian?
Civilian.
Oh,
the
nice.
Civilian show. Yeah, I was there for that. You guys were great. And I was like, what? To be honest, at that point, I'd never heard of you guys. And I was like, these guys are, I'm not swearing tonight. You guys were amazing.
Love those kind of shows, by the way. When we played with Bad Flower and Civilian, we saw a bunch of faces we never seen before. And that makes me very happy because that's my goal, is just to make sure we can get a bunch of new eyes on us.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we took the show. And the Civilian guys are really dope too.
Civilian's good, yeah.
Now, another big rock band really holding it down for Ottawa right now. Love those guys. We also have a show coming up with them in the future. I'm not sure if we're allowed to announce right now, but
in the future.
Not announced.
Dane's eyes being like, can we talk about this? Or
not really, but we will be getting together soon.
There's a little Easter egg for people who listen to your show.
There you go.
Nice.
Well, let's talk a little bit about what you guys got going on that you have posted. You got a few shows coming up.
Yes, sir.
Summer dates. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This year we've been really trying to. Well, the way we did it was the first year conquer our hometown. So we just focused in hometown, kind of getting the bearings on playing shows in general as a band. Then this year was let's leave and start going out of town. And that's been our goal, is just to start branching out. And then next year it's going to be even more, So yeah, we're just trying to get out to Ontario and Quebec right now. And that's what we're doing this summer.
Yeah. Now, do you have, do you lean on the advice of some of the bands here in Ottawa to get outside of Ottawa? Like, hey, I want to play Kingston. Who do I talk to? Or I want to play Oshawa or whatever. Or
like
going the other way to Quebec City.
Like
yeah,
other
just like to say, who do I talk to in this city to say, hey, man, how would you guys book us?
Yeah, like we have some friends that always ask us if that's what you mean, like asking us how to branch out of Ottawa.
Yeah, or are you guys asking anybody to figure out, like, to go, who do I talk to in this city? Who do we go to in this city?
No, we do the research ourselves when it comes to other bands, and kind of I'm always on the radar of looking what bands are popping in other cities, and I think it's a good goal to have, is to befriend these bands and try to connect. So we're doing the conversation of, hey, can we play your city and we'll provide you with something in Ottawa? And that's the advice I give to other people, and the advice I've been taking from others is just network by making friends with other bands in other cities. And that's kind of what we've been doing.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Yeah. What's the best Jimi Hendrix song of all time, Mike?
Oh, that's a great question.
The Kiss This Guy song.
Purple Haze.
Yeah, the Kiss
Use
this...
me while I kiss this guy. He says kiss this. He wants to kiss a guy.
Let them answer.
Sorry.
Do you want to go the route of being like super classic and say like Castles Made of Sand, or do you want to be like a little bit more in everyone's covered Voodoo Child, still a classic. I would say throw it way back and say crosstown traffic.
Beauty. Yeah,
That's a
great tune.
Max question.
yeah, fair enough. It's and I know my dog's name was Hendrix, so I'm a big fan. And going on that, Little Wing, is it done? Is Stevie Ray's version better than Jimmy's version?
Oh, I don't know if it's fair to even compare those two. They're just so great in their own right that both versions are great, and it's kind of like the master and the grasshopper. It's the student respects the teacher so much that he didn't make any significant changes. He just outside of doing it instrumental, of course, but it's a real nod to the master. So, but if you had to ask me, I do like Stevie Ray's a little bit better. A lot of activity in there. But here's another little fun fact for you. So I was actually at my dad's 80th birthday party over the weekend, if you can believe it. But he saw Jimi Hendrix in 1968 in Toronto. He had gotten married a couple days before, and essentially had to tell his wife at the time, "Hey, I got these tickets to Jimi Hendrix. I gotta go. See you later." And
that marriage didn't last. Fair enough.
I like his dedication.
yeah, he was a big fan, and it washed off on me as well. So my dad saw Jimi Hendrix, and so he was one of the early influences for me when I picked up a guitar. Like Strats and like Marshall Stacks and all that good stuff. But before I go on a full tangent about this, you better cut me off.
No, that's okay.
Nope.
We got time.
Yeah, we did.
But no, that's good. It's funny how I love Jimi Hendrix. I think just because it was played around me, my uncle would play it.
Well, same deal, right? Like it's something you grew up listening to, and either you appreciated or you hated it.
Yeah, I was always obsessed with the fact that he played a right-handed guitar, left-handed, and thought about that. Would just blew my mind at the time. When I first started playing.
Yeah, just the folklore around him too, right? Like just all the stories and stuff. So we have to ask.
Yeah, acid in his thing. Man.
Yeah, we have to ask Zane then. What's his favorite drum solo?
Max has acid in his toque right now.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah. Definitely don't ask me to take this hat off right now. There's going to be a lot of things falling out of it.
My favorite drum solo.
Yeah.
Oh, honestly, on top of my head, because I've been jamming a lot of it lately, is the Green Day "Broken for Boulevard of Broken Dreams."
Okay.
Or no, it's what's the one? The 8-minute long song.
I don't know. Green Day's not my jam.
Not your thing.
Well, I like some, but you can pull it up.
Yeah, absolutely too. Yeah.
Jesus of Suburbia. Why did I blank on that?
Wow.
There's a really cool drum solo in that song. I really like.
Cool.
But I don't know. I love I've seen Rush 5 times, and I'm always in awe when I see Neil Peart do his thing.
Ask him about Kiss.
What about Kiss? That was just out of left
My
field.
favorite band in the world.
Nice.
Really?
Yeah, it's a bonding thing with my dad. I just grew up on Kiss, and he was part of the Kiss army, and every month or two we get a mail of dolls and VHS sets and CDs and posters and crazy. So the man cave was very Kiss themed growing up.
Very cool. Yeah.
Who's the best drummer?
I met Eric Singer, so I'm gonna say the current guy.
There you go.
Yeah, he's sick.
There's no current guy anymore, though, aren't they? Retired now.
Who?
Kiss.
Well, for now,
until Gene runs out of money.
He's
No,
never
they're
never
all
running.
in the meta right now.
Gene is not running out of money. There's no way.
No way.
The guy's doing well on his coffin sales.
Yeah.
Was there ever a time where you thought about quitting music altogether?
Nope. No. I'm go, not gonna stop, never stopped since I was 9 years old.
Always drums?
Always drums until 2020. I started a project called Benzine, and COVID forced me to get Logic Pro and learn how to use it. So I wrote a bunch of songs, and then that ended up being what the project Benzine is. And that's like a project I did guitar, bass, drums, vocals, did everything.
Wow.
Interesting.
And that was when my band, at the time, we're called Letdown. And yeah, we were like a touring band and stuff, going all through the US and Canada all the time. And then COVID hit. They wanted to stop for a bit, and I was like, I can't stop. I need something now. I need to be posting music like actively. And I always have been, and I haven't stopped since I like my first band.
Very
There's
cool.
never been like a break longer than half a year.
Like now, like right now is a break, but you're still playing though.
Yeah.
Even though your doctor
Oh, it's
told
not
you
even
to.
a break. We just released a song, right? And we have
Yeah.
like there's no break. It was just
good.
convenient that I had 3 weeks to recover. You know.
Yeah, it makes sense. What about you, Max?
Oh yeah, no, I've wanted to quit music like a million times in my life. I'm just glad I didn't, and now I get to play with a band that I love so much. So I'm
that's
kind of
good.
the opposite, where every couple of years I have a mental breakdown, like, oh, I don't want to do this anymore. This is crazy. It's too much, and then just lasts a day, and then shake it off, and like, all right, what's the new song, boys? Let's go.
Yeah.
Very common. You're not the 1st person to say that.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, I'll keep it real. Like I've gone through several bands in my life, and as most musicians will tell you, like it's challenging, right? It's not just getting up there and playing music. There's just so many other pieces to the puzzle that is being a musician, right? And it's also navigating being almost an independent business owner. And if the goal is to try and make a living at it, it's a real challenge. And so yeah, full transparency, like I've definitely wanted to quit music at one time or another, and like I say, I'm just glad I didn't. I just kept going and kept taking opportunities, and it's led me to be in my favorite band that I've ever been in. So happy to be here.
Yeah.
We're glad you are here.
Yeah, it's very consistent. Now I have a question. Which is the bigger thrill? And I wish Vinny were here, would ask him. The bigger thrill is it somebody saying, "Hey, man, we really want to record one of your songs." Like say Dead, they want to record Dead, or having being at a venue and having everybody in the audience singing that song back to you. Which is the bigger thrill?
That's the one, the bigger thrill.
Yeah,
That one singing back.
Yeah, we can comfortably answer for Vinny. It's the latter for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that was something that I think a lot of us, well, especially Vinny, I'll speak for Vinny here because he's never been in a band before. We mentioned that earlier. And so this whole experience is brand new for him, right? But for guys like Zane and I, we've been through it before, different levels, and you sometimes people don't sing the lyrics back to you, right? You're like, oh, is this song even good? But yeah, being in front of a crowd of 200, 250 people and watching people mouth the words or just go crazy in the pit to your songs, it's one of those experiences that can't really be replicated. It's very unique. It's a big rush, and it's very satisfying. So that's the one for sure.
Yeah, it was kind of a loaded question. It's usually the same answer.
Yeah,
I mean-
we're kind of stuck with our producer. We love him so much, and we're not going to let him go anywhere.
No,
it's good.
no, it's
Yeah, going on that, like how important is that marriage? Like I know you mentioned that he's the fifth member and everything, but working with so different producers, sometimes that's not the same outcome. Would you think that's
I've said this before. I've always been like the one that wanted to work with other producers. It's just really hard when you get the product that we're getting right now. We have no reason to want to leave and find someone new because we're blown away. We're also we linked up with Dan when he was also coming up and trying to make a name for himself, and we were a brand new band trying to make a name for ourselves coming up. We thought it was really fair to be able to come up with together with someone, and the fact that we both were at the same level and doing the same thing and having the same amount of grind, we believed in each other before anyone else did. So that's the big thing.
yeah.
I'll say the same thing. there's always opportunities to work with different producers, but at the end of the day, you want to work with someone who has the best intentions in mind for your band and sees the potential, right? And not to be too corny here, but it's kind of almost like a situation where, if you want to go fast, go alone, but if you want to go far, go together. And so, we have this handshake agreement that, we want to go there together. And so we want to see him succeed as much as he wants to see us succeed. And that's just huge in continuing that relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah, even
Agreed.
if we were to get big, we would want him to be on board as well. Maybe his role would change a little bit, be an engineer or a mixer or, a writer. But for some reason, we've always talked about wanting to keep him with us for the ride, even if we were to go with someone bigger.
100%. Like, not best case scenario, we get invited down to New York or something like that to record a song, very glamorous situation. The first person I would call is Dan and say, hey, can you make travel arrangements? We want to bring you with us. That's how deep it goes.
It's awesome.
No, I think that's really important.
Being humble, remembering your roots. Who got you there?
You did, baby.
For sure.
Oh,
And
you too. You know what I mean?
he really made us sound like amazing. Like, I don't know, just
confidence-wise and stuff.
First time. Confidence-wise and just like professionalism and like people saying that we stick out of a pack sometimes, and it's very humbling.
Yeah, you very much do. That's a
I
great
think
thing
that's
to
a
say.
big reason is our producer, and he makes us sound larger in life, and that was what the intention was of, hey, we want to sound like a big rock band that could potentially be on the radio and be, up there with the big names. Like, we really had that goal of trying to be bigger than just a local band.
Yeah. You're on Whitewater Rocks radio when Dog plays you.
Yep.
So.
Hell yeah.
It's true.
I'm at 85 too. They've been hooking us up.
Yep.
Oh yeah, nice. It's lovely that the Live 85 is doing that again.
Yes, they should. Well, they should be.
Yeah, I know. That's what local radio
Rebel should be doing it. 88.5 should be doing it. It's ridiculous that they don't do it more. Anyway, my rant is over.
I feel like
Hey Max, can you hear DJ Noah across the hall?
Yeah, I think I can hear him.
Is he there?
Funny little side story. My neighbor is good friends with DJ Noah, so he'll pop by every now and then.
Oh, nice.
I wear this orange hat just in case he shows up, and
in his overalls, or his coveralls.
Yeah.
We
We really want to interview.
I met him last year. I met him last year at Blues Fest.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was there with Super Cup.
I love when he walks around like the stage. He looks like he's a wrestling promoter. You know what I mean? Like you're like a wrestler. Like he's just like the way he's like jacked up and stuff.
He
He's
could
built like one.
He's got a look, he's got the energy. He could be throwing hands in the ring. I'd pay to see it.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean he'd be like Doink and Dink, right? Like,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
Doink.
That's Max and I.
Yeah. What was I?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
So in 5 years, like ideal, like what's Fifth's future 5 years from now?
Just playing, and then hopefully more people know who we are. Like we just love playing live shows and getting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, to just bounce off that, 5 years from now, if we can be, regularly touring, if not set up on a label, kind of running our own independent thing, that would probably be ideal. Already have, done a little tour of the States. That's good. And, setting our eyes on Europe. So just as long as we're getting bigger by the year, that's all that counts. And we're just going to keep this thing going as long as we can. We want to push it to the end.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Yeah, we're trying to push it. We're trying.
You're on the right track. I got to say that.
Thank you.
Now, when you're writing and recording your songs, do you guys ever, consider how it's going to track when you play it live? like you can do a lot more things in the studio with the sound, but you guys keep in consideration that, okay, how's this going to sound when we do it live?
We use backtracks. We are one of those bands, and that's why we try to keep it as consistent to the record, using tracks. We have layered backing vocals and layered synth, and we add all those elements that are on the record into our live show.
Okay.
We want to make sure that the main instrument, vocal melody hearing are things that we can recreate live. But I think like a lot of modern rock bands, in order to sort of fulfill that really large sound that you hear on a record, having certain backing tracks just to fill it out in a live setting makes the most sense. And it also, kind of gives people the best quality product at the end of the day. They're hearing songs fairly close to what they hear on the record, even though it is produced. So, yeah, we're all playing our own instruments on stage. I will say that.
I like when people notice the sub drops that we add in on our backtracks, and it shakes the room, and people are like, "Whoa, I just felt that."
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah.
And it's something that's like on the record, but like we do it live as well, and it's cool.
What's funny is there was an interview recently, and they're talking about the difference between comedians releasing like an album or credit or like something on Spotify or whatever, and then an artist, like a musician, doing it, and they want the comedian to, when they see them live, to do something different, but when they see a musician, they want it to sound exactly like the record.
Right.
Yeah.
Like the comedian comes, you better have another hour because they don't want to hear that same one. But when you're a musician, they want to hear some changing things, but that's a big thing. Yeah.
There's one thing that I look forward to is I've seen so many shows, and actually all of Fifth, I think Max was there. Were you there when we saw Grandson at Blues Fest? Grandson is an artist where they're playing the same songs every single day, but man, do they have these amazing gimmicks on how to interact with the crowd and get them to do stuff that has nothing to do with the music. It just makes the show that much more exciting. And that's something that I always think that we could do better on, but like I also think it's something that's like changing it up and making every show that much better than just hearing the same songs.
Yeah.
It is true, especially if you follow a band a lot. You kind of want a little bit of it doesn't have to be exactly the same every time, but it'd be nice if there's a little bit of a difference.
What about Lucky Ron? Or
Well, Lucky Ron, I think he changes it up a little bit.
no, he doesn't.
He doesn't?
He does not. His show at Laugh is the same.
Call and response kind of stuff, getting the crowd to get the lighters out, or do a wall of death, like something to get like everyone going. That, I think that's the fun part about making a show more exciting than just hearing the music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, obviously there's an expectation to sort of deliver what you put on a record, but finding interesting ways to sort of expand songs or just get a little bit of crowd interaction going just makes it more of an experience for the people at the show, And so we don't want to be just standing there, kind of blasting our songs at them. We want to take time to get crowd engagement, people yelling at us, back them. That's how we kind of keep the rest of it.
Awesome.
Now, do you guys like sit down before the show and say, okay, boys, like at this point, we're going to try and do this with the crowd, or you just let Vinny go?
There's certain little things where it's like, oh, if the boys need to tune, Vinny, you better spend the next minute and a half fucking entertaining.
Yeah, he doesn't bring in any gear for load in, so he better pull his weight on the actual show.
There you go.
True. Yeah.
Well, you should. That's the thing with the singers. They should make them into roadies. Like, no, help bring in the stuff.
Hey, Vinny's been good actually.
Yeah.
I tease because he's not here to defend himself.
What about decades of music? So we ask a simple question to everybody. Is it, there's the 80s and then there's the 90s. Those are the two that we usually bring up. Which of the two is preferred by you?
We're the 2000s. Like, we love the early 2000s new metal, Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
So do I.
Which ties into the 90s. Ties into the 90s.
Zane, that's not the question, and this is my show.
Yeah.
What's the question?
I'm just kidding, bro. 80s or 90s of the two, you'd have to pick one.
Oh,
and
of the
then we
two.
can talk. And then we can talk about the thousands.
90s.
It's a tough. I'm a '90s kid, but I also love Motley Crue and Guns N' Roses. Tons of bands that basically defined the '80s, but also, yeah, tough question. I think I'll have to go with Zane on this one. '90s for me.
Fair enough.
I'd say there's more influences of Fifth than there are in the.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't look over here at me like that.
Zane,
Wow.
I love that game, by the way. The Tony Hawk game was legendary. And, the first song is Rage Against the Machine, and usually went in from that. And then we heard lots of good songs. So who from the 2000s really resonated for you?
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah. Same,
We're
same.
we're all like mega Limp Bizkit fans in Fifth.
Well, they're like, Borland's like one of the best guitarists ever, man.
Uh-huh.
There you go.
I think so. I mean, I think he's very interesting. That's for sure.
Well, he's unique. Is the word we'll use.
Unique is a great word.
It's a very good word.
One of my favorite bands is Papa Roach, even to this day.
Yeah.
And that's a band that, like, some of the songs that we've written, I resonate with, and I'm like, wow, this really makes 10-year-old me like super stoked, because like I get that vibe of the early 2000s kind of thing. That's the wave that we're kind of trying to ride on, bringing that nostalgic feel a little bit with the new kind of new sound.
Okay. Nice. Let me ask you this. Dead, what do you think that resonate? Like, what does that sound like? Because I'm sitting here talking to Gus, and I'm like, Dead sounds like something that I've heard, like, similar.
I heard Disturbed. There was a bit of that.
I can't put my finger on it.
Yeah.
We've always like resonated with Linkin Park.
Maybe that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. I think, yes.
Okay, maybe, yeah. Well, for me, I just like, for some reason, some of the backtracks from Disturbed was right in there. So that was me, but that's subjective.
Yeah, it is. But there's something in that song I'm kind of like,
yeah,
just in the back of my head. I just like, I can't bring it to the front, and but it's a great tune. When you wrote it, was it done acoustically first, or was the acoustic version done afterwards?
Oh, you wrote it in space.
Yes and no. That song almost didn't exist. So when Vinny and I started hanging out and doing some writing together, basically it was me on an acoustic guitar and Vinny sitting in a room, just playing around with ideas and seeing what happened. And so I was about to leave for the day, and Vinny asked, like, do you have one more idea? Do you want to try one more thing? And I pulled out that main melody, and that's where it started. But it wasn't meant to be an acoustic song by any means.
Okay. Well, I like that version. I like both, but I think it's interesting the differences between the two. But I do like the acoustic version of it.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thanks, guys, for your time. We appreciate you very much, and love your music. And we hope you recover, Zaner. I hope you recover very quickly. And,
don't push it.
And don't worry,
I'm chilling.
Yeah. You're gonna get some schnitzel into you, so that'll be good.
When's the next Ottawa show, boys?
August 9th.
August 9th.
August 9th.
That's right, at Club Saw with Teenage Fiction, New Hires, and our Toronto homies in Naked Burn.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah, it's gonna be it's gonna be a summer banger.
Club Saw
one
is great.
thing I'm very proud of is the bands playing. Every single band on this bill is a headlining band, in my opinion. I think every band pulls their own weight individually, and to get all of us together is, I think it's just going to be a big show.
Great.
Yeah, it will be. And Club Saw is a great venue to go to watch.
We love it.
Watch a show
and the staff there, they love when we come there. It's always a great time.
Nice.
Very good, sirs.
Well, thanks, guys. Enjoy your evening, and we appreciate your time.
And your schnitzel.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Get you.
Dog and Gus, Dog and Gus, Dog and Gus.